Hi guys, this is Atco. Well, I've got my HO slot car layout all finished now. I finished the track, maybe a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to put some scenery on top of the platform there and used a few things that I've been picking up over the last few weeks. They're all in and I think it looks pretty good. I thought I'd show you what it looks like now. Before though I show it to you, this is what the room is now. My wife put a skirt around where the platform is so you don't have to look at the sawhorses or the cabinets of tracks and things like that. Then I have in the wall, I had to have a few pictures of things with the old Aurora HO slot set because that's what I had when I was a kid. And I had to have some of those to remember those, along with a couple manufacturers like Atco and of course Lifelike, which is what I'm using now. Pictures like NASCAR real pictures, and I got a cool little picture of old slot car racing, people going to one of those tracks where you're playing your car. So I got those onto the wall, and then the wife picked up some of these pennants that kind of look cool too. So I think it looks good when you're walking into the room now. So what used to be the extra guest room is now the slot car room. Okay, so now let's take a little closer look to the layout and show you what I've put in there for scenery. I had 80% probably of this platform is full of plastic track, so I couldn't really make a city and houses and stuff like you would when you're setting that up with a train type of layout. I just had some space there where there wasn't track, and I thought I'll just put whatever I can in those little areas that put something in for scenery. I got 8 or 9 spots there, mostly within a circle there of the track. Put something on for each one of them. So in this first area, I call it my railroad. I got this locomotive O-scale train from my friend Benjamin from the Victrola guy. And I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. If I add that to it, I could kind of make that a little spot there. So I put my train out there. I picked up that little caboose at a yard sale one day and put some track on it. Thought it'd look cool, have little cars parked right next to it while waiting for the train to go by. So I put that out, and that's the first one. I think it's kind of cool. So for this next spot, I call that my car lot. I have about 12 of those HO little cars that can be used around this track. Half of them are made from Atco, and the other half are Lifelike. And I think it's a nice little variety. If anybody wants to race, pick out a car that they like, and we'll go out there and run around the track. Okay, now the next spot is just a small area, but I just call that the park. And just a few trees in there, and I had a little 1/64th Hummer car. Thought it would look cool as driving through the woods. Got his little dog with him. After that, I call this my construction zone. I had found at a yard sale all these 4 little pieces of construction models that were probably all 1/64th, I would think. Oh man, I might be able to use this one of the days. I got all 4 of them for $7, and I've been holding those for at least a month. I thought that'd be a good spot to put it there, and I made that my little construction zone. This next spot, it's got to have a little place to get something to eat, and I have a little Bob's Hotdog Stand. Good place to pull in there, go get your hot dog and a Coke, and go back and watch some more of the races. This is my horse pasture. I thought this would be good to have since my wife has got 4 miniature horses. Got 4 little horses in there. So my wife painted them so that they look just like her real miniature horses. Then in the front, I call this my Nascar Garage. I bought this little garage. This was a kit. It's made out of paper, actually a strong paper. You had to cut it out and glue it together. When it's done, it looks pretty good. pick it up, it weighs nothing. But it looks cool. You don't have to paint anything, and it's pretty cool. I bought that thing and set it up and thought it's just perfect in the front of my layout. And then what I have in there is, in the front, I have 4 lifelike NASCAR type little cars. These are probably my fastest cars I have to begin with. And then also on those, with all the other little cars I had of the other 12, they all have the traction magnets, to hold on the track. For these, not only these are the fastest of the cars, but on 2 of them I took one of the magnets out so that they would gotta watch what you're driving because they can fall off the track. And on the other 2, I took both of the magnets out, where if somebody really wants to be an expert on driving these things, you got to watch all your speed, all your curves. So that'll be one for playing for people who really want to watch, not just to try to run this thing as fast as they can, but try to keep it from going off the track. So I'm going to keep all those in the front. And then I also have one, it's a Atco, I believe, of a cop. It has all the magnets in it. I just thought it would look good there with the NASCAR cars. Alright, then up on the other side I have a little model of a fire station. I picked that thing up at a yard sale like in the spring. Way back then I was thinking I might be able to use this as a HO train setup. So I haven't used it yet, and it's a little bit off scale, but it still looks cool, and I put that out there, and then got a few of these little model 1/64th cars and add with that, and I think it looks cool. Towards the end of the back I have an area I call the farm, and it's where we have some fence with cows in it. There's a few goats coming out of the yard there. The wife painted all that stuff. I think that looks cool. I've just got that little 1/64th tractor in there. It just seems to fit well. And I got, you see in a lot of my other areas, I picked up different trees all over the place, and I was able to find a variety of a big bag of trees that I picked up at a train store, which is right down the street. They work well with almost any space. And then finally, in the front, I call this the camper ground. I've got a little truck camper in there, which I had one of those when my wife and I first got married, and got a few people in there, got a fire going and camping. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, well, so that's what I've done. I think it looks good. I've had a lot of fun putting it together. So that's pretty much for now. I'm going to show you just a little bit of running my track. But just before I go, let me say that this is Atco signing off, and give me a comment. What do you think? I'd appreciate that.